All right, so let's talk a little bit about. I'm still going to call him Tommy Tuberville because Tuberville is a funnier word to say than Tuberville. I don't give a fuck.
Tuberville's kind of funny too, though.
I think Tube is funnier.
You think so?
Yeah, Tommy Tuberville.
You have a better comedic sense than I do, so I believe you.
Well, anyway, this guy goes on Fox Business Network, and one of the things I've been surprised by lately is just how often these people now say the quiet part out loud.
Totally.
We're hearing it all, like them saying, the protests at our town halls are George Soros funded. Like, what are you talking about? Or like Rick Scott saying, oh, we got to cut Medicare and Social Security, bro. So you did over $1 billion in fraud of Medicare, and you're saying we got to cut Medicare. Like, bitch, how about you go to prison? How about that, right?
Yeah, let's start there.
Yeah. So anyway, here he is. He's asked about the economy, and he gives the world's worst answer. Take a look.
And Trump's tariffs, making America great again. It's a great strategy. If somebody's finally doing something out of the White House, President Trump, that is, that says you have to take an action in another country.
Yeah. No pain, no gain. That's what we used to tell our football players. There's going to be some pain with tariffs. But tariffs got us back as the strongest economy in the world when President Trump was in the first time. He knows what he's doing. Democrats, get out of the way, shut up. You have no answers. You didn't do anything right in the last 4 years with Joe Biden. We have a game plan. Trump has a game plan along with Howard Lutnick and the other people that are pushing the tariffs. We can turn this thing around. But, folks, let me tell you, this is our last chance. If we can't get it done now with tariffs and with pulling regulations and getting people back to work and cutting our debt and cutting the amount of spending, we're not going to have the country that we've had before. So people need to just listen, learn from this, understand it's short-term pain. We're going to get this turned around. President Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and he has a game plan, something Democrats didn't know anything about.
I'm so amazed at how, like, confidently they'll say something, but it's just completely untrue. Like, yeah, oh, bro, yeah, it'll be temporary pain, but, like, it'll bounce back, bro. It's like, that is actually not true at all, especially since you are cutting government spending. That's going to devastate the economy. Public deficits equal private surpluses. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. The more the government spends, the better the private sector is. If you're slashing government spending across the board and doing massive tariffs, there is no like, oh, it'll be all right, we'll bounce back. No, like it'll be looking at a situation like the Great Depression where they did austerity when there was a downturn and then everything got worse. That's what we're talking about. And he says it like, everything will be fine, bro. Like, no, it actually won't. And you have no idea what you're talking about. And Trump has no idea what he's doing.
But yeah, I mean, first of all, let's keep in mind, this is the guy who was like, we need to cut the Pentagon and make it a trigon. It's like, I think triangle
Not
might
the brightest.
be the word you're looking for there. But okay, buddy. So let's just keep that in mind to begin with. But what I'm astonished at is they can no longer deny that the economic plan is catastrophic.
Right. Yeah.
Because we all see it.
Yeah.
Right. The tariff, whatever the hell is going on with the tariffs, like, is insanity inducing, and the markets are melting down, and consumer confidence is plummeting, and, you know, all sorts of sales numbers are coming in soft, and consumer spending is down. All of these things are piling up at the same time that they're slashing the government and crippling it so that it can't deliver the basic services that people rely on. At the same time that they're promising to cut Medicaid to the bone, at the same time that they're promising to give the rich a gigantic tax cut. So you can no longer deny the economic harm that they are causing. So yeah, you have increasingly people like Tommy Tuberville being like, no pain, no gain. Well, nice for you to say, Mr. Multimillionaire, who's going to benefit from that giant tax cut, right? It's not going to be you feeling the pain. So very easy for you to say. Or you've got Howard Lutnick, who is the Commerce Secretary, who went from, this is all in just this week's time, one day promised, oh, there's not going to be any recession. And then when Trump is like, well, there might be a recession. Now, his new line is, there might be a recession, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Imagine
a Democrat said that. Imagine a Democrat said that.
It's worth it. Like, and again, Lutnick is a billionaire. Look, for him, he's getting his wildest dreams fulfilled by this administration. Not only the tax cuts, but the destruction of any sort of law enforcement when it comes to like white collar crime and financial crimes. That's being wiped away. He's big into the crypto scene. His firm is like a big crypto backer, whatever. They're pumping public resources into backstopping these people's bags. So yeah, and by the way, if there is a recession, like there was in, 2008, 2009, if there is that type of recession, guess who always comes out on top?
Yep.
At the end of the recession?
The rich.
The rich. Because when the prices fall, they're the ones who still have the money to buy up everything, for bare bones prices. And then when the country comes back out of the recession, they're even richer. The banks are even bigger. The corporations are even more giant monopolies. That is the story every single time. So these billionaires that are in Trump's cabinet, and certainly Elon Musk being, number one, and some of the affiliated people like Peter Thiel, whatever, like when they see a recession, it hits very different than they're not going to be worried about paying their bills and, making rent and whatever. They'll be licking their chops, looking at what they're going to buy to further augment their already insanely, inflated wealth.
And I should also point out, he said, Democrats, take notes. They couldn't do anything right. All right, I have many criticisms of Biden and the Democrats, as everybody knows, but here's the reality. 16 million jobs created. GDP was up 12.6%. Inflation down 2.1%. Lowest average unemployment in 50 years. If Trump had those numbers, they would never shut the fuck... Oh, the best economics president God ever created.
Yeah, totally.
But since it's Biden, they're like, it's actually good when the market goes down, bro. It's actually good when people lose their jobs, bro. We're gonna have a little disturbance, but we want that. We want that little disturbance, bro.
Yeah,
like
that's literally the level of cope we're at. Is like, actually, it's good for the market to crash and have a little recession. Like, here's why. With some galaxy brain, like then this happens, and they'll buy that, and this will go up, and young people are gonna love it. It's like, you're insane. You're insane. You have clearly never experienced a day of economic hardship in your life. And the country is already, the polling is already just plummeting for him, especially on economics. And this has always been a strength for Trump. Because people buy into the oh, he's successful. He's a businessman. He's a billionaire. He knows what he's doing. His numbers on economics have fallen off a cliff. JL Partners did a word cloud of what is Trump's biggest mess up? Tariffs were number one. And then there were all these words about Doge, Elon, firing, federal government, whatever. And so those are the two big pain points for people. Both of them have to do with economics. And you just think what a freaking bait and switch. Because they put at the core of their messaging, we're going to deliver for working people. That's going to be our priority. We're going to lower inflation on day one. Prices are going to go down. And now we're getting... no pain, no gain. Well,
stagflation.
There might be a recession, but it's actually a good thing, and it's worth it. Worth it for what? For who? It's insane. Absolutely insane. Someone needs to cut together all of these different clips of people.
Price is going to come down on day one. Day one, they're coming down.
That, and then all of the oh, no pain, no gain. This is just a transition. Recession is worth it. All of the explanations of how they're going to intentionally cause you pain, but for some reason, they think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I should also point out, he says in there that tariffs gave us the strongest economy in the world the first time. And he's referencing Trump's tariffs the first time. Trump's tariffs the first time were way more hyper-specific on particular industries. And by the way, not all of them were actually a success, so that's not true. But yeah, Biden continued in a hyper-specific sense with certain industries. He was fine with tariffs, which I'm cool with too. I'm a mild protectionist myself. When you're talking about a 25% across-the-board tariff on one of our top trading partners, we're not remotely in the same universe anymore, bro. That literally is just, at the very least, a 25% regressive tax on the working class.
Yes.
Right? And in some instances, it's actually more than that, because sometimes products cross the border twice.
That's right.
Right? So 50%, you think the working class can afford 25 or 50% tax on literally fucking everything? And that's why Trump declared national emergency the other day over the electricity thing before he rolled back the U.S. Retaliatory tariffs on the energy thing. Because he knows, oh yeah, that would actually be catastrophic and it would be a national emergency. So the across-the-board tariffs are mental. It doesn't get any dumber than that. Hyper-specific tariffs are a very, very different story. So for him to conflate the two is pretty gross. But
not to mention, just really quickly, I supported the first-term Trump tariffs and I supported the Biden tariffs. In retrospect, I'm not sure that I would have supported the first-term Trump tariffs because he did not pair them with any sort of industrial policy, and so they actually did not work.
Exactly. He had to bail out the farmers because of it.
Exactly. And, there was a net continued loss of manufacturing jobs. They were not actually effective. The cope there is, oh, COVID messed things up, blah, blah, blah. But it was not paired with industrial policy. Biden's actually was. And so they actually worked. And they targeted industries that made sense. For example, EVs, like this is the, car of the future, and this is the energy, like green energy. This is a future technology that we want our country to be leading the way in, invested in, et cetera, and it's important for national security. So he targets those sectors and then pairs it with industrial policy. It actually worked. Chips, another example of that. So that's how you have to do it. They're doing the polar opposite, where it's not targeted. It's just across the board and scattershot. None of it makes any sort of coherent sense. And not only are they not doing industrial policy, they're rolling back some of the industrial policy that was done, and they're slashing the government and doing austerity. That is the polar opposite of what you want to do to actually have tariffs be successful at like reindustrialization or bringing back jobs to this country.
And
so the whole thing is insanity.
Trump freezing chips cost us 115,000 high-paying manufacturing jobs. He froze that. Final point on this. Laura Ingraham also chimed in on this issue and told her viewers to, quote, ignore the tumbling stock market because Trump is, quote, good for business. It's just full Orwellian at this point. That's what we're witnessing.
Wow.
Hey guys, this is just a small piece of a longer interview with Robert Weissman of Public Citizen. He is suing Elon Musk. He's suing Donald Trump. He's suing them together for their various, actually countless illegal actions. To hear more specifics about what the cases are about and whether or not they're succeeding and what do we do from here, sign up below on Substack. You won't regret it.